Hippolytus wishes to see me here? And why? Hippolytus looks for me, wants to say goodbye? Ismene, is this true? Surely you're correct.
It's due to Theseus' death, the first effect. My lady, be ready on all sides to view those Theseus rejected, who flock to you. Aricia is finally mistress of her fate, and you'll soon see all Greece is at your feet.
So it's not Ismene some ill-founded rumor? I have no enemies, I'm a slave no longer?
No, my lady, the gods no longer oppose it, and Theseus goes to meet your brother's spirits.
Do they say what actions ended his days?
Unbelievable tales of his ending circulate. They say the waves have swallowed the faithless, a husband, yet abductor of some fresh mistress. They even say, and this rumor is widely spread, that with Pyrrhus he went down among the dead, saw the Cocytus and the shores of darkness, showed himself alive to the infernal shades no less, but could not escape from that gloomy sojourn, and across the border we passed without return.
Am I to believe that a man, prior to his dying breath, could penetrate to the deep house of the dead? What spell drew him to that formidable shore?
You alone doubt, ma'am. Theseus is no more. Athens laments it, Trojan knows of it, and has recognized Hippolytus already. Phèdre in the palace trembles for her son's life. From all our anxious friends, she demands advice.
And do you think Hippolytus, kinder than his father, being more humane, will make my chains lighter, that he'll pity my troubles?
I think so.
Is not feeling Hippolytus known to you, though? What shallow hope makes you think he'll pity me in respect to sex he treats so disdainfully? You see he's evaded us for some time now and seeks the places we never go.
I know all they say of Hippolytus' coolness, but I've seen proud Hippolytus in your presence, and even as I watched, the rumors of his pride redoubled my curiosity, I find. At your first glances, I found him someone other. His eyes, which wished in vain to evade you, already filled with yearning, could not leave you. A lover's name perhaps would slack his courage, but he has the eyes of one, if not the language.
Dear Ismene, my heart hears it so eagerly, your speech that owes so little to reality. Oh, you who know me, does it seem believable that the sad plaything of a fate so pitiable, a heart fed always on tears and bitterness, could ever know love and its sad foolishness? Born of a king, a noble prince of this world, I alone escaped the furious wars unfurled. I lost 6 brothers in the flower of their youth, in the hopes of an illustrious house of truth. The sword took them all, and the clinging mud drank with regret Erechtheus' nephew's blood. Do you know, since their deaths, what law's severity forbade any of those Greeks to sigh for me? They fear lest the sisters' reckless passions will one day reanimate the brother's ashes. And do you know what a scornful air I often regarded the suspicious conqueror's care? You know that I, ever resistant to all lust, often gave thanks to Theseus the unjust, whose fine severity supported my contempt. But my eyes have not seen the sun yet. Not through eyes alone, shamefully enchanted, do I love the beauty of him, his grace so vaunted, gifts with which nature wished to honor him, which he himself disdains, yours, it seems. I find in him the noblest riches, his father's virtues and not his weaknesses. I love, I must confess, that generous pride which has never bent beneath the yoke of sighs. Phèdre was honored by Theseus' breath in vain, but for myself I'm prouder and flee the glory gained. Her homage offered to hundreds and so easily, from entering a heart thrown open to so many. But to make an unyielding courage bend, to make an unfeeling heart feel pain, to fetter a captive astonished by his chains, fighting the yoke that delights him so in vain, that is what I wish. That is what excites me. To disarm Hippolytus counts for more than Hercules, often vanquished and defeated more swiftly to the eyes that tamed him, offering less glory. But alas, dear Ismene, how daring I am. To be blocked indeed by profound resistance. Perhaps you see me, humbled then, in pain, lamenting the same pride I admire today. Hippolytus might love, but what great happiness might I have altered?
You'll hear him himself. He's coming to you.
My lady, before I leave, I thought to advise you what your fate shall be. My father no longer lives. My true prescience anticipated the cause of his long absence. Death alone, limiting his brilliant efforts, could hide him so long from the universe. At last the gods delivered the friend, the comrade, the heir of Hercules to the murderous fates. I imagine your hatred, denying him his virtue, without regret hears all those names he's due. Yet, one small hope now softens my mortal sadness, that I might free you from a guardian's harshness. I revoke laws whose rigor I deplored. You are free now to dispose of yourself and your heart. And in this Trojan, now my inheritance, legacy to my ancestor Pythias once, which has made me king hesitatingly, I set you free as well, freer than I can be.
Moderate your kindness goddess whose excess shames me by honoring my play with care so generously. It binds me, my lord, more than you might see to those austere laws from which you free me.
Athens, uncertain of its choice for succession, speaks of you, names me, and also the queen's son.
Of me, my lord?
I don't deceive myself. I know that its proud laws seem to reject me. Even so, Greece reproaches me for my foreign mother. But if the only competition were my brother, my lady, over him I have essential claims that I might salvage from the law's domains. A more legitimate curb arrests my boldness. I cede to you, rather, I return a title no less, a scepter which your ancestors long ago received from that famous mortal whom the earth conceived. Adoption placed it in Aegeus' hands there. Athens, enriched, protected by my father, recognized joyfully a king so generous, and set your poor brothers to forgetfulness. Athens now calls you back within her walls. She's suffered long enough from those quarrels. For too long has your blood, swallowed by its furrows, made that earth steam from which it first arose. Trojan obeys me. The countryside of Crete offers the son of Phèdre a rich retreat. Attica is yours. I leave now and go to unite all our scattered votes for you.
I am astonished and confused by all I hear. I fear lest a dream deceives me. Yes, I fear. Am I awake? Can I believe this plan? What God, my lord, what God guides your hand? How deserved your fame, they speak it everywhere, and how much the truth exceeds what they declare. You would sacrifice yourself in favor of me? Is it not enough that you would not hate me, and for so long were able to protect your soul from that enmity?
Hate you, my lady, how so? Despite those colors in which they paint my pride, could they think a monster brought me to the light? What savage manners, what hardened hatred would not, on seeing you, be altogether softened? I have resisted the seductive charms.
What, my lord?
I have let myself run on too far. I see my reason has given way to violence. But since I've now begun to break my silence, my lady, I will continue. I'll speak again of a secret my heart can no longer contain. A prince to be pitied is before your eyes, a memorable example of reckless pride. I, who proudly revolted against all passion, have long scorned the chains of that lover's prison. As I deplored the shipwrecks of weak men, thinking that from the shore I'd always view them, and now subjugated to the common law, what turmoil bears me to a distant shore? One moment conquered boldness so imprudent, my soul so proud is finally dependent. For more than 6 months, bearing throughout the wound with which I maimed, I steeled myself towards you, and myself in vain. Present I flee, absent I find you again. Your image follows me in the forest night, in the shadows of darkness and broad daylight. Both bring to my eyes the charms that I avoid, both snare the rebel Hippolytus on every side. This is the reward for my excessive care. I search for myself, and yet find no one there. My bow, my spears, my chariot all call me. I cannot remember now what Neptune taught me. My cries alone make the woodlands ring, and the idle horses all forget my calling. Perhaps the tale of so wild a love make you blush, hearing me, that all your charms could do. But what shy entreaty for a heart in your hands? What a strange prisoner for such lovely bonds. But the offering should be dearer to your eyes. I speak in a foreign tongue, I realize. Do not reject these vows so poorly expressed that but for you, Hippolytus had not confessed.
The queen is here, my lord. I've arrived before her. She's seeking you.
Me?
Of her intent, I'm unaware, but a messenger has come to speak on her behalf. She wishes to see you before you depart.
Phaedra wishes to see me. What might she wish? What will I tell her?
You cannot refuse, my lord, to listen to her. Though only too convinced of her enmity, you owe her tears some semblance of pity.
Meanwhile, you leave, and I go, not knowing if I've offended charms worth adoring, not knowing if the heart I leave in your hands.
Go, prince, pursue your generous plans. Make Athens tributary to my power. I accept all those gifts you make my dower. But that empire, so grand, so glorious a prize, is not the dearest gift of all.